This is the final episode of the Telescopic World, Epilogue and credits to the series. In this episode, we will be talking about a topic introduced in the last podcast, the second part of the Telescopic World, the book, in our discussion of conclusions. We will also be drawing out and unpacking some of the concepts explored in this and preceding podcasts. To start off, in this podcast, I will be drawing from the writings of Ibn Arabi, a 12th century Sufi saint, from his book, Journey to the Lord of Power. Within the cycle between nakedness, the point at which one exists beyond familial cannibalization or appropriation, and integration, comes humility. For in one's rejection from the intersubjective space which is the source of one's ambitions, affectations and coverings, one is stripped bare, isolated, one's conscience implicates oneself in shame. It is only in letting go of the loss of this territory, this false sovereignty, that one achieves some measure of reformation in the eyes of the real. This humility comes in the form of humiliation at the hands of the world. I call this cycle, from one state of entanglement with the world through the 9 dialogues to the state of nakedness, the master narrative. It is the fall of humanity from grace. The redemption of humanity. The humbling of humanity. But it is merely the second of 7 stages of spiritual development in Sufism. In that tradition, it is merely the second of the nafs. To quote Ibn Arabi, affirmation is the predestined order of the whole world. So whoever seeks to the repeal of the habitual certainly violates adab, the rule of right conduct, and is ignorant. What some people call the disruption of habit is itself a habit, since the constant disruption of habit is a habit. So custom is not obliterated except in its affirmation. But for this to be the case, the one who undertakes this affirmation must be connected to the real, and it must be for the sake of this connection that he establishes the customary principles. We discussed how beyond dualism, beyond the affirmatory narratives which the system generates, infiltrating our consciousness through the 9 dialogues, are incursions of higher order meaning. This was intended to reflect the fact that existing beyond dualism, beyond linearity, permits one access to a whole swath of experiences which might not otherwise be available to one's consciousness. This non-duality grants one access to a new kind of spatial intention, one not limited by the interplay of so many intersubjective minds. But, and this is a key point here, the affirmational content of one's narratives will only be so transformed by connection to the real. It is only in escaping the materialistic narratives of the world, through connection to the real, that one affirms correctly. Now, in rejection of affirmation in the vacuousness created by a lack of connection to the real, one begins to approach multiplicity. Multiplicity being the barrier between this world and the next. Ibn Arabi writes, "Know that interval is an expression for something which separates 2 other things, like the dividing line between sun and shade, and as he said may he be exalted concerning the mixture of 2 seas. And when the barrier is between the known and the unknown, the non-existent and existent, the negated and affirmed, and the rational and irrational, it is called interval, and this interval is the imagination. It may be that all beings are affirmed beyond multiplicity, in that the barrier is between the false self created by negation and the true self created by affirmation in the real. But the path beyond multiplicity is not found in solitude. For we must all serve a master, whether it accrues to our benefit, or to our damnation, we may choose. For to know the real exists beyond this world, as a fact, takes no faith at all. What takes faith is the step from knowledge to practice." That's the end of the podcast for today. If you enjoyed it, please like, comment and subscribe.